y'all. Sorry about that. Hit the wrong button. All right, here we
All
go.
good.
Okay.
In three, two, one. Hello, and welcome to episode 155 of the Wrasslecast. I'm your host, Don Delarente, and I'm joined this week by Shaz. How are you,
Hi.
Shaz? Glad to have you back on.
Been a while.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. Let the people know where they can follow you on Twitter and all that good stuff.
1 star 2 3. Always
That's
Shaz. I'll change the last name, but Shaz is always there.
and it's Star with two R's. Don't forget the double R. And we're also joined tonight by my man Anthony. What's going on, Ant?
What's up? I still got a hangover from Hell in the Cell, so
Let everybody know where they can follow you on Twitter, man.
y'all can follow me and my wrestling rants at Brooklyn Sun on Twitter.
All right, all right. Now everybody knows you can follow the Wrasslecast at the Wrasslecast on Twitter. You can also follow me at Don Delarente. Um, Wrasslecast is brought to you by CSPN. You can follow us and listen to us at www.cspn.us. You can also find us on wrestlecast.tumblr.com. You can also listen to us through iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher Radio. So, just like Anthony alluded to, we had Hell in a Cell this past Sunday, so we'll get right into that review. We had the hashtag Say No to Pre-Shows, as we had the Hype Bros versus Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable get the win with their version of the Doomsday device. Of course, got some more tension teased between the Hype Bros as they had some miscommunication, which led to them getting pinned and losing the match. And they've been on like a 2 month losing streak here. So we'll start with you, Shaz. If you got to see the pre-show, what were your thoughts of Gable and Benjamin? How they looking to you?
I mean, they look good. I'm not particularly excited about their partnership right now. Kind of like you
What's
took
not
one
doing
guy
it
in,
for you?
put another one in, but I don't know. I just don't feel the same chemistry as before. But, it's
Mm-hmm.
a different team. You just got to get used to it
Right. Right.
because Benjamin's
And
just back. So,
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about you, man?
Oh man, all right. So that match, I mean, we're still getting used to Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. Let me say this: Chad Gable, I think, is between him and Jason Jordan. He's mo- Chad Gable's more like Kurt Angle,
he is.
and like I keep pointing that out. Like I don't like unlike everybody else, I see Chad Gable as Kurt Angle 2.0. So, but him and Shelton, they're starting to groove a little bit. They're still a little off. There's something I like. I think they need some time to. I think they need time on the mic to better um to better stay what their intentions are. So I think them them jumping into this after the win on Sunday. I think and after this Tuesday win in that fatal four way, I think this is a good thing for them to jump right into a good program with the Usos, or should I say the Trap Usos? So yeah, they just got to get more TV time and hopefully they can develop their tag team chemistry and character with the Usos.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. They still got a lot of potential. I think that like you alluded to, it's going to be a lot of fun with them and the Usos. Once they start having their matches, and hopefully the promo battle is just as good as well. So then, of course, we move into the main part of the pay-per-view.
Oof.
Hashtag Cell Therapy Matters. Thank you for everybody who joined us this past Sunday for our live tweet. As always, thank you for sharing your commentary with color. And so, speaking of the Usos, first match out the gate, the curtain jerker. If you can't be last, you want to be first. We get
Yeah.
the Usos versus the New Day. Hell in a Cell for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Uh, just too many spots to actually, give you a full rundown. But the Usos got the win as they hit the double Oos splash on Xavier Woods when he had a chair on top of him. And the Usos reclaim the SmackDown Tag Team titles to become 5-time Tag Team Champions. So, Miss Shaz, we'll start with you. Your thoughts, opinions, concerns.
In a way, I kind of hate that their feud is ending. I mean, it was 4 months of them pulling that off. That's incredible, especially considering today's times. You can't get past 3 weeks before you're tired of it. And it was just so much happening during the match. I couldn't even get up and go get some water, which is usually shocking because I'll get up in a minute.
Anthony, your analysis of Usos and New Day Hell in a Cell.
Whew. All right. Where should we start? First of all, I want to say this, and maybe some people agree with me out there. I think that's a top five Hell in a Cell match. Like, holy shit! You take two completely different teams with the Usos and their new character. I mean, it's not new, but new for new people who's tuning in. Then you take a team like the New Day, you put them in, you put them. They like this feud that they've had has been, I think, in the landscape of where it is in WWE. I think it's one of the greatest feuds, as tag teams that they've had, and to cap it off with the Hell in a Cell match, to match their creativity in this cell match, and to see, well, first of all, I think one of the MVPs of the Hell in a Cell match was Xavier Woods, because we never seen that level of intensity out of Xavier Woods. Like he brings it,
Hmm.
but that match, the psychology of that match between him, between we saw shades of Big E Langston come back in that cell match. You saw the Usos really tapping that to tap into that ferocity. Some of the sequences in the match between having Xavier Woods hang by the ring post with handcuffs, between Big E's dives. It's just like that whole match. Like you can't get any better with that match. Like I think that those two teams set the bar for tag team wrestling in WWE, and to see their entire feud. Like if you're any other tag team in either NXT, Raw, or SmackDown, you watch those two tag teams feud for 4 months. If that don't motivate you to want to bring your A game to WWE as a tag team, I don't know what will. Like that, and I was talking with friends. To be honest, I thought that they should have main evented Hell in a Cell.
Oh man, that wasn't gonna happen when McMahon was on the card.
Yeah,
At all.
but I'm like, yo, their match, like I thought, and I think their match was better than the KO Shane match. Like, don't get me wrong, like Shane and KO brought it, but the Usos, the Usos New Day match, man, I like you could put that up there and let that be a top five Hell in a Cell match
Oh yeah,
of
it's
all time.
yeah, it's definitely one of the
Yeah.
better ones that they've had for sure. And like you said, the creativity with the weapons, it was a they used a bunch of kendo sticks and handcuffs and trombones and cymbals and cowbells and gongs. So so yeah, just the way that they had to make it completely different from the match that Shane and Owens had later, definitely spoke to their creativity and yeah, like you said, definitely top five Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, like after that match, I was like, who the hell's gonna follow that?
Uh,
Good luck.
Rusev and Randy Orton got that short straw.
Oh my.
I
Uh,
still haven't.
Rusev goes to give Orton the accolade, but Orton is able to escape and he hits the RK out of nowhere and he gets the win. I was disappointed there was no Aiden English like run in, try, or at least didn't come down with them at ringside to kind of that pairing's been kind of for me, they've been, one of the best things on SmackDown the past couple of weeks, and I was hoping that they would continue that here on the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, but didn't happen. And I guess Randy Orton is moving on because that's 2 out of 3 that he's gotten over Rusev. So, um, did you know what do you feel about Rusev and Randy Orton there, Miss Shaz? Did you have any excitement to see Randy Orton?
No. Next.
Anything you want to add?
uh, Rusev deserves better than that.
Way
I really
better.
like because he is a top heel in the company, and the chemistry him and Aiden English have had in this short little stint of a feud. I thought like Rusev deserves a lot better than what he's been getting. Um, man, I don't know if it's like Randy Orton. There's something about like his like God. Any feud Randy Orton's been since he's been on SmackDown Live. To be honest, I ain't been interested in it. Like the only feud I was actually interested in because of who Randy is and his comments on Twitter and shit was when he was feuding with Jinder Mahal, and I was like,
Gender. That was it.
that was it. Other than that, his feud with Shinsuke and his feud with Rusev, he ain't helping. He is not helping the situation. Ain't like there's no like because the thing is it's when Mark Henry being the veteran has was on the active roster and he like being that he's a vet like he helped a lot of guys he worked with get over and
Hmm.
like make the feuds interesting. But Randy, and I think I can speak for everybody, ain't nobody interested in any feud Randy's been in. You know?
Yeah, yeah. He might be. They might have more potential players for him over there on Raw. It seems like right now because, like you said, yeah, he's been kind of stale with his SmackDown things going on. I guess ever since the House of Horrors with Bray at
Oh my
WrestleMania.
god.
Yeah, he's kind of taken a downhill turn. They
Oh,
both have really,
oh
actually.
Yeah.
my. I don't know. Like I don't know. Do we should
I don't
did
know
he
what
put?
happened at that crossroads, but
Yeah. Like I don't
that
know
did not
why.
happen.
Yeah, I don't know why they even took the title off of Bray. Because yeah, Randy. I'm like, what the hell happened to Randy Orton? Why did he get so goddamn boring? I don't get it. And it's like, do we put him back as a heel? Do we keep him as a heel? He's a face. We're like, what the fuck do we like? Do we like what the hell?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where they go with him coming forward because on SmackDown right now there's just not a lot of baby faces. There's a lot of heels, but not a lot of baby faces, and so gonna have to be interesting to see if they can kind of keep Randy Orton kind of propped up as somewhat of one of their top baby faces and see who he gets.
Yeah, because if I was who if I was like any of the writers, man, I would just let Rusev go ape shit and just like really take it to rent. Like I wish that would have happened where he just went ape shit and like just smashed Randy Orton like completely. Like when he go back to Rusev of old, like when he used to
Hmm.
spin kick motherfuckers out their boots and motherfuckers had to go and get a tag team partner or try to sneak up on him or whatever. Like that's the heel I wish Rusev would be on SmackDown. Not this not this guy that keeps losing to Randy Orton. Like and Rusev's talented. I don't know like I don't know if the writers are not I don't know what they're doing. And I don't know if like cuz something's telling me like Rusev is just like he's had it with these stupid feuds. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see kind of how they spin him off too. Everybody on SmackDown right now is kind of like transitioning into new stuff, so it's gonna be interesting when they get ready to build up. I think Clash of Champions is gonna be their next one um, to kind of spin up to see who's gonna be faced off with who. We
Yeah.
had a triple threat as Todd Dillinger was added during the pre-show to the United States title match. So now it became a three-way as we had Ty Dillinger, Baron Corbin, and AJ Styles face off. AJ Styles hits Dillinger with the phenomenal forearm, but Baron Corbin literally kicked AJ Styles in the face, kicked him out of the ring. Corbin covers Dillinger, and Baron Corbin is the new United States champion. So I thought it was pretty decent match. It was really a lot more entertaining with Ty Dillinger in there than if it would have been just Baron and AJ. I think Ty added a element that the match definitely needed. It's probably about the third best match on the card to me. It was surprisingly good. I think a lot of people were kind of shocked to see how well this match went off, and I think Ty Dillinger acquitted himself pretty well. People are getting into him and kind of understanding what he's about. So I thought it was a good showing for him. And Baron Corbin, man, he's got a chance to be a champion and run with the title, and hopefully he can kind of get his Twitter persona and that type of person that he is on Twitter, who's very entertaining. Maybe he can get
Hmm.
that over on TV a little bit, and people won't call him boring Corbin. Shout out to Jade to Max. So, and I'll let you start this time. Your kind of thoughts on this one?
Uh, I'm happy Big Banter won finally. Because after that Money in the Bank briefcase embarrassment, I was like, oh god, they gotta give him something to make up for that. And now I'm glad he finally got the U.S. title. That last minute play call, adding Ty Dillinger to that match, I appreciate that from SmackDown. And I think we're gonna start to see more of Ty Dillinger now. They got a solid program. They got like a little thing going on between him and Big Banter. So hopefully now Baron Corbin now ups his game now because now you got the U.S. title. The last two holders of the U.S. title, they brought their A game. So hopefully he could bring his. I thought the match was good. It was a nice. It's a nice segue. I would have rather that, like, if I had to flip flop matches, I'd have put that second instead of the Rusev match because it was like nobody wanted to watch that.
All right.
Honestly, no. Like I would have swapped. But other than that, yeah, good effort from all three gentlemen. AJ Styles always bringing it. That's
Hmm.
never a. And I like that Baron Corbin, despite his size, is using intelligence in the ring. Like I like you don't see that too much in today's landscape. Like he's a menacing guy, but he's got intel. His character's got intelligence. So uh, good on Baron Corbin. I hope he don't drop the ball. I hope he takes his game to another level now.
Okay. Charles, give me some thoughts.
Yeah, it was good to see him step up. He seemed I guess, a little more focused as far as being mean. It wasn't coming off as like a whole bunch of talk and then falling flat on your face. So I appreciated that. But yeah, it was a good match. I actually liked the way it was because I don't think it would have come off as good if it come right after New Day and Uso. So I'm okay with where they placed it. I
Right.
got a chance to
Right.
go up, take a nap, come back, enjoy this match, be prepared for the next one.
We get Charlotte versus Natty for the SmackDown Women's title. And the story of this match is Natty is going after Charlotte's knee. She's trying to, of course, soften her up for the sharpshooter. It gets a little too hot in the kitchen for Natty after she gets Charlotte does the moonsault on the outside. Natty gets back to her feet, finds a chair, hits Charlotte on the injured knee with the chair. Natty gets disqualified and retains the SmackDown Women's title. Um, I was looking for a little bit more from these two, considering I'm the NXT guy and have seen them like 3, 4 years ago when Charlotte wasn't quite as good as
Make
she
it
is
run.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, go at it, and they have a pretty epic match. But I guess this is just them advancing the story. So we'll kind of see what they do for the next pay per view, how that one goes. No Carmella, she wasn't even sniffing around, so that was kind of, I thought, maybe a little something they could have done to kind of spice it up a little bit. Have her kind of snooping around, maybe be at ringside, maybe be on commentary. Of course, always with the tease to the cash in at any second. So We'll kind of see, wait and see approach on this, kind of see what they do on the next big event. So, um, anybody would just jump in with your thoughts on this one.
Um, yeah. I was a little. I wasn't. This match, I wasn't really feeling it, considering you know how usually the women over in SmackDown they usually bring it in each match. It's just like after SummerSlam, they've been on a little slump in pay-per-views. Hopefully by Clash of Champions, they get it together. Also, yeah, like you said, I also found it odd that Carmella ain't sniffing around with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Because like, I don't know if they're going. I don't know if these wrestlers going back and watching tape, but I think one of the superstars that like was really you know instrumental with the Money in the Bank was Edge. So I don't know. Hopefully, again, let they should be like having Carmella sniffing out. Maybe they got bigger plans. Maybe because I know we got Clash of Champions. Maybe she might cash it in because Starcade is also coming up. So I don't know if they're gonna do anything with that.
As of right now, there's that's just going to be a regular old house show, a bigger house show than normal. They don't have any plans to broadcast it.
mm, Shit, I wish they would broadcast Starcade. To be honest, but yeah, like you said, this is just an advancement of the story. But they gotta, I think because they're on a after some like that SummerSlam match wasn't feeling that SmackDown SummerSlam match. So they hopefully Clash of Champions they let the women over SmackDown bring it. So
All right, Miss Shaz, any
Yeah, it felt
final
like a
thoughts?
regular SmackDown match. It wasn't anything spectacular or extra, like a regular show match.
Yeah, yeah, that might have been just kind of the way they played it, just to like we're saying, just kind of give them enough that we can all digest what happened, and then build a story later. And Charlotte has a reason to keep pursuing the title. Then we get our fashion files that we've been promised for the past 2 weeks on SmackDown that we didn't get, so we got it
Yeah.
here. Um, the Ascension comes in, and basically, they're trying to be friends, literally, and Breezango's like, "Nah, we're not cool with that." They got a new case, and it's gonna be called what? Pope Fashion.
yeah,
So
Hmm.
that'll be starting up on SmackDown, I guess, in a couple of weeks. So we'll see where that goes with Fashion Files and Breezango. Then we got our WWE title match as we got Nakamura versus Jinder Mahal. Nakamura is going for a second Kinshasa on Jinder, but Jinder moves and Nakamura hits his knee on the turnbuckle. Jinder then hits the Colossus on Nakamura and gets the pin clean in the middle to retain the WWE title. So Jinder's still never hindered Jinder. Jinder gang still running strong. Uh, Singh brothers got their physicality in, and then they got sent to the back. So for them that was quite a night off because they didn't get tossed around or didn't get kicked in the head. So um, curious booking, but they've got bigger plans with Jinder. They're going to India in December. He just left this week to go do the promo for it. So
Hmm.
you know if
That
you
should be
look at the
huge.
if you think of the business sense of it, that looks like it could be, a reason why the booking went the way it did. But I'm gonna ask y'all a different question. Everybody is kind of lukewarm on Gender. How do y'all feel about Nakamura?
um,
Sad.
yo, yo, WWE's got to do something with Nakamura. Holy shit! I like he was hot over in NXT, and then when he comes
Hmm.
over to the main roster, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Holy, like, how did they fuck this up? Like, I don't get it.
Well, when he was at NXT, he had Samoa Joe and as his main foil there for a large part of it, and we all know how good Samoa Joe is. It's just I think he's the type of guy who needs the correct dance partner to bring the best out of him, and I don't think that. Well, obviously, um, Dolph Ziggler and Jinder Mahal are not it.
Mm-mm.
No, and no matter how many times Dolph says he's the best wrestler and this, that, and the third, man, I would have picked after that one. After that one match, I'd have been like, "Yo, Dolph, you gotta go sit down because you did not do that with with uh with Shinsuke. Like, God, holy, like, in a way, I wish Samoa Joe's on SmackDown.
Hmm.
That might be what they need to do is bring him to SmackDown and let them go up against each other. That's
Yeah,
about all you got left now.
yeah, because
It's sinking fast.
yeah, because I could. If shit gets worse, I could see Nakamura leaving the company and going back to New Japan Pro Wrestling.
I think he is. I think he's bored.
Yo, because they're not. And this, I mean, gender. I mean, he's just getting back into things. And again, this is what I was talking about this with somebody on Twitter the other day. WWE needs to bring back a lot of their veterans to guide the youth into going into these programs and making sure like the youth knows how to make these feuds interesting because um, this is a sink or swim situation for Gender. You know, coming back after he got kicked out. I mean, after he left, he came back. You know, they're like, hey, you know, you work hard, you transformed your body, so we're gonna just throw you in this WWE Championship picture with no guidance. I feel like Ginger's
Hmm.
getting no guidance from any of the. I think if because rumor is AJ Styles is supposed to be his next challenger, so I think hopefully this saves Gender because I don't. I mean, this feud didn't really. This feud didn't, and I hate. And I'm riding with Gender and Shinsuke, but this feud, oh man,
It was a bad look for gender because when it
yeah,
took that turn where they start talking about Nakamura's looks, it was like, oh, okay, I'm good.
yeah. And I'm not,
That was just
like,
a bad
yeah, and
turn.
yeah, it's like I get it, like, because lately WWE's going back to everybody being spicy, but I'm just like, ooh, y'all cutting it close with this one. In today's landscape, it's not a good. It was not a good look on Gender. Whoever wrote that, I would
Hmm.
I would be like, yo, you ain't writing for a while. You fired. And
And what sucked is the very night he cut that very first where he went too far on the racist promo.
Hmm.
He was getting cheered when he came out. It was the first time that he actually had like some positive crowd reaction too. People were like finally starting to
Hmm.
like actually get into him as
yeah,
being the champion. And then he goes out there and does that, and then it just went all that just went away.
yeah, I don't think WWE's writers are in tune with one their audience and two what's going on culturally.
At all.
Because
Well,
there
it's
was
not the writers, dude. Here's the thing: writers write, but whatever they write, let's say they make this shit like, okay, they're doing Monday Night Raw. They're writing Monday Night Raw right now to present it to Vince on Friday. Vince may see it on Friday and look over it and say, huh, everything's good. So they go home on the weekend, put the feet up, everything's good. They get to the building on Monday, Vince looks at it again, shit, he might have them change 4 or 5 segments.
yeah. Well, in that case, then Vince has
Yeah, I did
gotta
hear they
like
were
raise
doing
up.
it. Somebody said that they'll get like changes in the script like right before they go out. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, because that gender thing, man, I'm like, fuck gender. Like you couldn't say no to this. So I'm
Right.
like you like and what makes it bad is he's a brown skinned wrestler. I'm like,
Mhm.
yo, my
Well, I could understand. I understood what they were trying to do. They just didn't
right.
execute it as well as they
Mm-mm.
could have with
Yeah.
him saying, hey, all of y'all are down on me because I look different, I sound different, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden now once he gets to the top and he gets that position of power, now all of a sudden he turns into the person that he was claiming he hated the most.
Yeah.
And so, so I understood it. It was good, and they had to change up the promo a little bit because
Uh,
I mean, now that he was a champion, he can't go off of that, xenophobia full time again like he was doing. So I
yeah.
understood what they tried to do. They just
The ex-
executed it very poorly.
yeah, I think, and you know what? I think going now with I even think with that they should, instead of scripting it for gender, just like yo, gender, we're gonna give you this opportunity. Go off script one time, like just give them bullet points and be like, yo, just hit this, and but like we want you to like put your because like this, and it sounded like that promo, that racist promo that it like he did not mean it. Like I could tell he did not mean it. Just like
Hmm.
delivery and
Mm-hmm.
execution, you could tell he was like oh man, that was
I
bad.
don't
And I
think
don't,
any of them were comfortable.
no,
All
he
three
was.
of them looked uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, can we cut the commercial break? Cause man,
I
Yeah,
did cut the commercial break because I just changed the channel when it happened.
yeah, yeah. And they
we
gotta do
get it.
some. They
Oh,
gotta
go
do
ahead.
something
I'm
with
sorry.
They gotta do something with Shinsuke, man. Cause I'm like, he's
Hmm.
slowly becoming a guy that I don't want to watch.
He's on
Hmm.
TV too much.
Yeah, like he should be a special attraction like Samoa Joe over on Raw.
Hmm. They're just exposing him too much, and he doesn't have that specialness to him that he should have. It should always be a big deal to see him. But we get a Kevin Owens backstage promo with Kayla. Hey Kayla, how you doing? Creepcast. About his match later tonight with Shane, Hell in a Cell. And then we get the stinker match of the night: Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler. Dolph runs Rude into the turnbuckle and rolls him up, but Rude rolls through and rolls up Ziggler. Ziggler rolls through that roll up and rolls up, and then Rude rolls Ziggler back up, pulls the tights, gets the pin, and then right after the pinfall, Ziggler gives Bobby Roode the zigzag, and that was all, folks. Another underwhelming Dolph Ziggler match against somebody making their big time debut on a pay per view from NXT. So Um, there used to be a time like 3, 4 years ago when, Dolph Ziggler was the perfect man for this spot. But here lately, he's fallen on hard times and kind of fallen off. And he's not doing it for anybody that, like they're thinking he would. You figure, like, oh, Dolph Ziggler, they'll have a 4-star match. They'll have an easy 4-star match. But it's just not coming off that way right now with Dolph.
Well, he's lost, so how is he going to help anybody else?
Yeah, like he's lost. I don't know. He doesn't have a place in WWE. I don't know how the hell he was supposed to help Bobby Roode. Like again, Ziggler's like I don't see him as the premier wrestler anymore, and that's like the hope. Like he's got the in ring skills, but as far as storytelling, helping to elevate the talent coming in, because he didn't do it for Shinsuke. That match was garbage, and then this match with Bobby Roode, like he didn't perform to the level we thought. You know, Dolph Ziggler is able to perform. So I I think going forward, anytime they bring in a new NXT superstar, they need to just like avoid Dolph Ziggler at all costs. Because Dolph Ziggler's last two matches with NXT talent has not been great at all, and no one's raving about Dolph Ziggler's matches. In fact, even on
Hmm.
between the Wrestling Inc. podcast, between uh, even Dave Metzler, even fans, just fans in general, they are not like no one's like saying, "Oh, Dolph Ziggler, any match like Dolph Ziggler's last great match was against The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship." Ever since then, it's like, what the fuck are you doing, Dolph? I think Dolph. Honestly, I think either Dolph needs to take some time, away, or just like whenever they bring new talent, just like, yo, stay clear of Dolph Ziggler. Let's put you in a fresh match with someone else, like a Baron Corbin or a Ty Dillinger or wherever. Let them figure it out, because and just based on what Dolph Ziggler's doing, I don't think he wants to help.
Hmm.
That's what I'm getting from Dolph Ziggler. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
So then we move to our main event of the evening, as we had Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens, Hell in a Cell, Falls Count Anywhere. Shane heads to the top of the cell to give Owens the big elbow through the announce table. At the last second, Owens moves and Shane elbow drops the announce table, crashes and burns. Then we get a replay and we see that Sami Zayn came to the rescue and he moved Kevin Owens off the table. Uh, During the aftermath of Shane, crashing and burning, going through the announce table with the big elbow drop, all the paramedics and the stretcher comes out there to try to scrape him up off the ground. Sami Zayn then drags Kevin over to Shane, moves the medics out of the way. Zayn puts Owens on top of Shane, tells the ref to count. Owens gets the 3 count, and Kevin Owens is your winner. Um, this was a lot better than Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker. Um, the false count anywhere part of the match actually did kind of make it a better match, I guess, than the Undertaker match, because they didn't have to go out and necessarily go back in. Once they got out, they could stay out. um, I think everybody kind of felt that nervous energy for about 6 or 7 minutes when they were doing all those spots on top of the cage, because
Mm-hmm.
everybody remembers Mick Foley falling through the
Following
cage,
through. Yep.
which
Mm-hmm.
which which wasn't supposed to happen at all, which was an unplanned spot, but became one of the most iconic uh, images in WWE history. So now I think everybody kind of has in their mind, they kind of think like, oh well, they on top of the cage, somebody gonna fall through. But luckily they didn't. They just did a bunch of big moves up there. Pop up power bombs, suplexes, neck breakers. It's just a whole bunch of just crazy, crazy moves that they did on top of the cage. And then of course Kevin Owens crashes through an announce table. Didn't see that coming. Knew Shane would probably do it, but didn't think we'd get two
Mm-hmm.
big crash and burn spots, but we did. The speed at which freaking Shane McMahon was coming down out that skyboy, he was moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just Kevin Owens with the great heel tactics in the beginning of the match. Of course, Shane's got his family out there, his sons and his wife in the front row. Kevin Owens gets over in the Hell in the Cell right in front of him, starts taunting. Shane rubs his face all up on the cage in front of him or whatever, and then once he knocks Shane's down, he starts doing the Shane McMahon little money dance in front of his kids and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Owens is the best.
Yeah. Yo, that match, it was a fun match. At the top of the cell, I damn near lost my shit, because I'm like, one of these motherfuckers is gonna go through the cell. Um, and Shane, oh man, I think I think Shane likes doing these kinds of matches. He just gets a kick out of it. I don't know if he's got a death warrant, or if, he's trying to top what Mick Foley's been doing or whatever. But I get the sense Shane likes doing these kinds of matches and elevating these, just working with the talent. I think low key he wants
Mm-hmm.
to. If he didn't have to play the GM role, he would be an active wrestler, because with his matches with AJ, Kevin Owens, I think he's a fan of like the crop of talent that he him and Dane Bryan have the pleasure of working with. So like I get that from this Hell in a Cell match. He enjoyed working with Kevin Owens, and I'm glad they finally got Sami Zayn in the program, and heel turn, because God, he was suffering.
Yeah, yeah, he really was. Shaz, your thoughts?
Um, I need them to like pay for my next doctor's appointment because all of that on top of the cage stressed me out, and I just didn't even know what to do with all that. Like everyone said, I kept expecting them to fall through because that was just a lot. I mean, with the power bomb alone, like I don't need to see that again. Of course, you
Yeah,
know Shane is going to jump off the cage,
yeah.
but yeah, no. I'm like, dude, you're not 20 anymore. Kind of take it down a
So
notch, just a little bit.
Nah, Shane McMahon gonna go hard. If he is in the match, he going hard.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's him being him. He's
yeah,
more of a wrestler than he is an executive. He always has been. So,
yeah. I think like long term, if they, I think they should just put Shane on the main roster. Like if there's an opportunity to do that, like just put him on the main roster because he, like I said, he enjoys getting out there and performing. You know, like I'm
Hmm.
like, we might as well just give him that platform. Be like, yo, you're not GM no more. You're on the active roster. I mean, he could go. He could
Yeah,
go.
but he's 48 now. If he wouldn't have
mhm,
taken that long 15-year absent out of the company, yeah, you might have been able to
Yeah.
get away with that then, but not now though. So
No.
mhm.
Yeah. He's in Undertaker years now. So
yeah.
maybe they'll get the big dog to retire him.
So that was Hell in a Cell. Basically, kind of like the first, like I said, the opening match, the main event, and then the triple threat for the U.S. title were the real standout matches. Everything else in the middle was just kind of blah, just kind of ending a couple of storylines and advancing the women's title storyline. So not a bad overall show. I think it got like a B, but that was just on the strength of those final two matches for sure. The two cell matches for sure.
Yeah.
Um, Next up, we'll go to Monday Night Raw. The Miz starts off the show. The Miz awards. He's got the Mizzies out there. He awards a Mizzy to Bo Dallas, and then one to Curtis Axel for their parts, and being I think he gave Curtis Axel one for his courage. I think this was one he got.
Yep.
Then he gives another set of Mizzies to The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro, for their best supporting actors for their help last week in destroying Roman Reigns. Then The Miz awards himself a Mizzy for the leading role in, leading the charge to beat down Roman 2 weeks in a row. Then all of a sudden, Roman pops out. He talks a little trash. The Miz says, "Man, you ain't gonna do nothing. It's three of us, four of us, one of you, and even if your little friends come out, it's still 4 on 3." He said, "I heard some rumors that y'all trying to get back together." And then Roman says, "Huh? Who said anything about some rumors?" First Dean comes out, then Seth comes out, and the crowd is going redonkulous, and they make their way down to the ring to, formally kick some ass. Miz gets the hell up out the ring, watches the Bar and Curtis Axel get destroyed by the Shield. Once the Shield are done with them, they chase Miz, get him in the ring, and then proceed to beat the Miz down. Uh, they give him the Snowmaker. Then they give him the Dirty Deeds. They give him a spear, and then for good measure, they gave him the Shield triple power bomb. And then, as what have happened over the last 2 weeks, when they had got beaten down, the Shield stands over the Miz, and they do the triple fist bump, and it is officially on. And these people in this crowd could not have been happier that they bought tickets to Monday Night Raw.
It was
A
everything
lot,
I needed.
Yo, I thought
yeah.
that after that, I was like, yo, all right, show's off. All right, that's it. That's it. Let's just move on next week with the with everything else. Cause I'm like, oh, like I lost my shit. I was like, all right, we're in it now. We're in it.
I see. as everybody does, or most people do, when I took my break, it was during the time where they were coming in, the Nexus and the Shield and all that. I miss all of that, so
Mm,
I don't have the same reverence for the Shield that everybody else does.
yeah,
I I understand it, but I don't have that emotional connection that most wrestling fans do.
yeah,
So, to me, it's just kind of like, okay, they're back together again. This is the WWE's big joker, and whenever they need something that they know is going to be a hit, they can always go back to this, and so they decide to pull it out. Basically, this is the Roman Reigns rehab plan, part three, as they're trying to curry him some favor with the crowd, and Shield Roman is all the way over as a babyface, whereas no Shield Roman is still struggling. So
yeah. I don't. Yeah, like that. It's a weird dynamic. I'm like, what the like? It's weird,
it's
but
it's Hoodie Mellow versus regular Mellow.
yeah, like, and hopefully after this they let just because I'm not gonna lie, as an individual, like Roman's improved. Like after that match at WrestleMania, man, he's been up in his game, and I think with the Cena feud, they finally got him comfortable, more comfortable with the mic and everything. It's just now they got to find a way to help him put it together. Maybe like I said, I think he need more feuds where they need to bring it out. Who knows? Maybe this feud will do him some good. Um, this this feud that the Shield is going to go through with the Miz and Braun Strowman is going to be a car crash. So hopefully, and I think Raw's trying to top Hell in a Cell because you can't tell me after what between those two cell matches that the Raw roster is not looking like, oh shit, nah, we got to top this at
Yep.
TLC now.
Mhm.
So
Right.
now we really getting that brand warfare with like, all right, who's going to put on the better pay per view main events now. So I think after watching Hell in a Cell, they decided, all right, we need to pull this trigger now with the Shield reunion. Because honestly, I would rather the Shield battle Finn Balor and um, Gallows and Anderson because they're to me they're more legit opponents and intriguing opponents that the Shield would have trouble with instead of wasting wasting this reunion with like don't get me wrong, Miz is good. Miz is like one of the best talkers in WWE right now, but I think they should have they should have pulled the trigger with the whole club thing wellness. But hey, beggars can't be choosers, and I think this is going to be a good feud.
All right. Shaz, your thoughts? Anything else you'd like to add before we move on?
I've been waiting on it. And I'm glad it finally happened because I was tired.
All right.
And
So
what
we get
happened next was even better. It just went back to how they used to be, where they just went in attack mode and went after everybody. But I know
Yeah,
you're getting to that, so.
Jason Jordan versus Carl Anderson. Jason Jordan wins with the pop up net breaker. Nothing special. I have a new motto: Make the Good Brothers great again. Please, WWE, please.
yeah,
Backstage, the Miz is getting treatment from getting beat down. Kurt Angle comes in, and he makes the main event for TLC: the Shield versus the Miz and the Bar in a table, ladders, chairs cage match. Next, we get Elias. He comes out, sing his song. When Titus comes out with the banjo, he does his own song, which is all leading up to the introduction of Apollo Crews. So once again, we get Elias versus Apollo Crews. Elias drapes Crews' neck across the second rope. Then Elias hits the drift away, and he gets the win for the third straight time. Elias is good. He's starting to get over with the people. They get it with the guitar and everything. His in ring could step up a little taste here or there, but I think that's getting a little bit stronger too. And You know, it was a Apollo Crews. He had a little slight run there with the Titus Worldwide thing, and Tozawa ended up outshining him. And then they
Mhm.
took the belt off Tozawa, and Titus Worldwide's kind of been put on the back burner here. And Shaz is funny because we were talking about this the last time you were on the show. He's still the same dude that's walking around smiling too
Always
much.
smiling.
Smiling.
Why are you smiling?
Like,
I guess
holy
he's smiling to cover the pain. I don't know.
nah. Like, yo, something is like, oh god. Apollo Cruz is a talented guy. I don't know why they got him smiling and going 0-3 against Eli Sampson. Like, this
Mhm.
motherfucker is Bobby Lashley, and this he's Bobby Lashley Jr. Like, this man should be whooping ass and not smiling about it. Like, it's annoying me.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he's getting to the point where he needs a get. Just like I said last time Shaz was on the episode, he needs a gimmick. He needs a
Mhm.
pure gimmick. He needs to be, you know, a cocky type of guy, or he just needs some type of personality, something that can make you invest. Because his in ring work will
It's
capture
solid.
you. Yeah, yeah, he can capture you by wrestling. It's just
That's
that
the
he
problem.
doesn't
He's
have
the
anything
wrestling
else.
guy, though. That's what they always do when it comes to the wrestling guy. They bring him in that he can wrestle, and there's nothing else outside of that. And you're bored after a while.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Like, I think he should just snap one time and just like start destroying motherfuckers. Like, cause he's one of the best athletes on that roster, and I think this feud ain't doing him no justice at all. Like, he just need one time, just snap,
Mm-hmm.
and like maybe put Elias Sampson through a table, or just take somebody, just start destroying motherfuckers.
Enzo comes out, does his promo. He's, doing the normal Enzo thing. That, of course, brings Kurt Angle out because, Kurt Angle did basically make a edict that none of the cruiserweights could uh, get a match with Enzo because they all touched him 2 weeks ago during his celebration. And he was bragging and boasting about that. But he said that he was going to make a match tonight between Kalisto and Enzo for the cruiserweight title. Enzo kind of hesitates and then he says he'll agree to do the match only on one condition, if it's the main event. And Kurt Angle agrees. And right before he leaves, though, Kurt Angle gets the last word and says it's going to be a handicap match. Or lumberjack match, excuse me, not a handicap match. A
Mhm.
lumberjack match with all the cruiserweight division being the lumberjacks. So get set up for a main event. Then we have Braun Strowman versus Matt Hardy. Braun gets the win with the running power slam. Matt Hardy actually got in more offense than I thought he would, so that was pretty cool for him. Uh, Braun picks up Hardy and heads to the back. All of a sudden, when he's going up the ramp, he gets confronted by the Shield. Braun to have a stare down for a minute. Braun goes after Roman, and it's on. The numbers game is too great though, and the Shield end up beating down Braun Strowman. Then the Shield give Braun the Shield power bomb through the announce table. So, Shaz, this is what you were referring to earlier as they got back to their old ways of, just going after everybody. Now, since I missed that, um, that whole time frame, kind of did they have a discretion? Were they using discretion, or was it did you have to cross them before they came down and beat you down, or was it just that if it felt like you need to get beat up, they just gonna beat you up?
Whoever they had to go after, they went after you where you stood, backstage, wherever. If they had to sneak attack and get you, they would do that. And so that's what it felt like, just coming out of the woodworks, knowing I got to take you out, and coming in and doing that and just wrecking shop.
Mm.
And I kind of missed that. I think that's what everybody got excited about when they showed up. was that it felt like, okay, now we're going to go to this now, except that's not what WWE did. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
jumped. No, I was just laughing because when they came out and jumped at Braun Strowman, I was like, I was just in tears. And then when they power bombed through the table, he bounced off the stage. I was like, oh shit, oh shit.
I just didn't get. Okay, they're already over. You don't
Yeah,
need anything else to
yeah, yeah. That was
get
the
them over.
yeah.
Why do you got to sacrifice Braun?
Well,
The
yeah,
one
yeah,
person on your roster that's probably like the hottest person that's on your roster. He gets the biggest crowd reaction when he comes out. People are interested in everything he does.
yeah,
So I didn't understand that
yeah. I kind
at
of wish they
at the time.
yeah they should have just put that. Which should you're right. They should yeah, that was confusing, but and they should have put that honestly. They should have kept that for next week because
Mm.
him and Roman, the beef is still on. So they got to duke it out in a steel cage. So yeah, they should have kept it. But I mean, you know, I guess they wanted to pull the trigger and let people know, hey, it's it's on. Maybe get because Braun don't have no opponents for he don't have
Hmm.
no opponents for the
exactly.
pay per view. So they're like, all right, let's just throw him in there, see what happens. And now that Braun's in the TLC match, um, it's going to be a car crash. And again, they don't have anybody because Samoa Joe's out until
Right.
I think he's coming back at they said maybe the end of the month or something. I'm not too sure. So and yeah, they got to do something with Braun. You just can't have him off a pay per view. Or I mean, you could just have him as a special attraction, and then after the Shield thing, maybe him and Roman keep going back at it because they got good chemistry together, and they could still squeeze a dollar out of that before Survivor Series. So like,
The way that the way that Braun got added into the match was, um, Miz comes into Angle's office and suggests that Kurt hold Dean to his word because they showed the Miz in the back, after they had destroyed Strowman and they were kind of, bragging and feeling themselves. And Dean uttered the words that they can defeat any four, five, or six men. So the Miz pressures Angle into it, and Miz basically says that he's already found his fourth member, and his fourth member was Braun. Braun busts down the door and he just stares menacingly at Kurt Angle. So now Braun has been added to the TLC main event. We had a Mickey James promo on Alexa Bliss on how age is nothing but a number. Alexa comes out and she has a video prepared to remind the fans about Mickey James' career. Of course, it's a black and white, highlight reel set to the old time 19 teens music, as a soundtrack. Mickey, makes a rebuttal, challenges Alexa. Alexa, who wasn't dressed for fighting, come down to the ring, got a little bit too close, got yoked up into the ring. Mickey hit her with the chick kick. Um, Alexa rolls out, and Mickey, is standing tall in the middle of the ring. The promo really got people into the match, I think, more than they were maybe beforehand. I think last week they did a good job setting it up, but I think this week with Mickey coming out leading the promo to start out with, kind of definitely got people on board with this a lot more than they were maybe 2 weeks ago. So, good showing by Mickey James. We get an Oscar video package followed by Bailey, Sasha, Alicia Fox, Dana, and Emma all wanted to face Oscar at TLC. So, of course, Kurt Angle, being the general manager that he is, says that they settle their differences in the ring, and he makes a fatal five-way where the winner will be Oscar's opponent. So, more typical booking of the women. You have your one main feud, and then they throw
Hmm.
everybody else together in one big, you know, conglomerate, and they figure something out. Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali versus Jack Gallagher and Brian Kendrick. Brian Kendrick hits Mustafa Ali with a sliced bread number two, and Jack Gallagher and Brian Kendrick get the win. Most people were watching the match and was like, when did Jack Gallagher become heel? It's like, oh, yeah, we can tell who's not watching 205 Live every week. So I'm, so I'm glad
Is
that they
Jay
allowed.
watching it?
glad they let Jack Gallagher wrestle on Raw so people could see the change in him. As now he, instead of coming out with those colorful striped tights that he used to wear, he's now wrestling in his street clothes, basically his three piece without the jacket, the vest, the pants, the shirt, and the Oxfords. So it's a very interesting look.
Yeah. I, yeah, they're going off this. I think somebody's been watching this Kingsman, so they're like, all right, let's give Jack Gallagher this Kingsman like look and everything. But yeah, yeah, this 205 thing. Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
then we get the worst part of the whole episode. Finn Balor comes down, cut
Oh
a promo.
God.
He gets interrupted by Bray. Bray does some type of weird intersectional promo where he flips over and turns into Sister Abigail, and basically they're kind of like dual cutting this promo where it's cutting in and out of like Bray and Sister Abigail talking to Finn, and Finn is like literally in the ring just shook. Um, Everything about this is awful to me. I'm
Mhm.
usually not that guy that's like, oh, this is bad. I don't like it. But yeah, I don't like it. You've got people who could actually be Sister Abigail and not have Bray. I guess this is his answer to the Demon King, I guess. I don't like it. He sounded
You
like the
didn't like the
Black
Snapchat
Scorpion.
filter?
No, he sounded like the Black Scorpion. It was just bad. Just so bad. So,
Like it was a bad Saturday night cartoon, like some shit you watch on Adult Swim.
yeah. Uh, it's just
Like
that.
I'm at this point, I'm just like, yo, shave Bray's beard and start over. Just like get it. Like
Just make him a baby face. Guys,
I'm,
so simple. They've exalt. If you're not gonna bring the Wyatt family back, if you're not gonna pair Bo Dallas up with him, just turn him into a baby face. It's time.
yo,
He's
it's been beyond time. Like okay, so they didn't want to keep him as WWE champion. All right, cool. He does the House of Horrors nonsense with Randy Orton. All right, whatever. You got to get that out. All right, they got to do something quick because I could see Bray not being in WWE long.
Mm-mm.
Cause like there's so what the fuck? And Bray and I like Bray. It's just like yo, y'all got to do something. Make him a baby face. Change his character. Do something. But like this sister, yo, I'm telling you right now, if he winds up wearing a dress at the next pay per view, I'm done.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are getting to that edge with Bray where they're losing faith in him. Because when we first started this podcast and I first started watching him, I thought his promos were excellent. The entrance was fantastic. Everything up until him actually wrestling in the ring was awesome, but his actual wrestling matches were flat. No matter who he was wrestling, John Cena, when they were doing the thing with Dean Ambrose, it was just flat. It's just like he couldn't get people into his match. Well, he kind of backed down, dialed down the promos a little bit, kind of cut out some of the crazy antics he was doing in his matches, and all of a sudden his matches started connecting a little bit more. And then, like you said, they finally put the title on him, and it looked like okay, now we're finally about to get the Bray Wyatt everybody's been waiting 3 or 4 years for, but it never materialized. So, yeah, he's definitely in a transition spot right now where if this should be signal like if he loses the Finn, this should signal him doing something different, going away for a few months and then maybe coming back.
I don't see them letting him win. I don't. Mm-mm.
Nah,
And just
Yeah,
the
yeah,
that,
fact that Flo is where he is and Bray is where he is, I never would have expected this ever.
yeah. Nah, and their next match at TLC, Finn's winning that. So
all right. So we got Sasha Banks versus Dana versus Alicia Fox versus Bailey versus Emma. Winner faces Asuka at TLC.
you mean get their heads kicked in by Oscar TLC?
Yeah, it's an elimination match which they didn't explain until the first person got pinned and then the match kept going and Cole had to kind of like trip over himself to
To explain it.
Let
Mhm.
everybody know that it was an elimination match. Well, Dana gets caught with the belly to belly, and she's the first person eliminated. Alicia Fox hits Bailey with the axe kick, and Alicia Fox eliminates Bailey. Sasha then gives Alicia the backstabber and the bank statement, which makes Alicia Fox tap. Then, right after that, Emma slides in, rolls up Sasha, and Emma gets the win, and she will get the chance to face Asuka at TLC.
Well, somebody had to be sacrificed.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
as good as anybody.
We've
yeah.
we're at the point now where nobody even got loud for Sasha Banks when she came out.
Yo,
Mm-mm.
they destroyed that girl. Like that shit. That's another thing that pissed me off. Is like, how the hell did y'all let this happen to Sasha? Like, what the fuck?
That last 1 week title reign has
Mhm.
done more damage to her than anything that all the injuries, the time she missed with injuries and all that stuff.
Mhm.
It oh man, it's just so sad to see the crowd just be, you know, don't care about her because
Yeah.
she's one of the
Like,
best workers in the division.
did she piss somebody off? Like, what? I don't get what's going on. Like, why they won't let her have a?
Vince,
Oh
Vince,
God.
Vince thinks she's small. Vince
Mhm.
doesn't like that she gets injured, so he doesn't let her be the best that she can be.
Well, Alexa Bliss is small, but like,
But Alexa Bliss don't get injured. See, the
yeah,
thing with Sasha
Yeah.
is the first time Sasha got the belt, what happened? She got injured. She
she
had to
got
get the
injured.
belt up. Same
Yeah,
thing, same thing with Finn. That's why they both in this. I think they both in the same rut. Is because they got the chance to get the belt, and the one thing that you can't do is get
just get
fucking
injured.
injured.
Yeah,
Look
Yep.
at Dolph Ziggler. Look at his career. He got the belt, got a concussion,
then
got the big gold belt, got a concussion.
there's like,
Had
nope.
to get had to get the belt up, and his career has been in the trash ever since. So,
Mhm.
God, I
so
could see a
that's a
lot of
Vince thing.
yeah, I could see a lot of talent going back to New Japan or wherever they were. Cause like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Plus, they're not doing anything with the women's division anyway. Really,
no, cause where the hell was
they
Nia
really don't.
Jax at?
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, at this
Yeah.
point, they have enough women. They could have tag teams, and they're not even doing that. They could have
No,
more than one feud going on. They don't do that.
yeah, like
They're
at this
just there to
point,
shut us up.
yeah, at this point, like Nia Jax should be vying for the title, in my opinion. You know, like
She should
no,
be
no,
what Braun is by now.
yeah, she should be because she's the monster of the women's division. Like she's athletic. She can wrestle. Although she's still green, like she still can go. She can. Oh my god! Like I'm like y'all are wasting Nia Jax's time.
Well, it took the crowd a little bit longer to get with it, but
Yeah, it wound up paying off.
um, yeah, when they were teasing her and Alexa having maybe a pay-per-view match, the crowd was really getting into her. Like when she wrestled Sasha and she did the little Sasha Banks slide, and then they came back the next week. Well, the first week she wrestled Bailey, and she hurt Bailey, and she tied her hair up in the side ponytail. Then the next week she wrestled Sasha. She did the little Sasha Banks slide. I think everybody started to see her personality starting to come out, and they were
Yeah,
like,
Mhm.
"Oh, okay." Then they had her come out in her regular street clothes after she had did the New York Fashion Week on Raw. She came out in her street clothes, and everybody got a different view of her. And she did the commentary, and they were going back and forth with Alexa Bliss. And I think they were like on the right path to making her a really big star. But her not really getting a true title shot has really kind of you know downgraded her push a little bit. So we'll see kind of where they go
yeah,
from here. Then we got our main event of the evening. We have Enzo versus Kalisto, cruiserweight title, a lumberjack match. This match was really kind of slow in the beginning. It didn't pick up until they were on the top rope, and Kalisto did a superplex. He superplexed Enzo into the crowd of cruiserweights who started fighting each other down below. So that was when the match started to pick up a little bit. Everybody kind of got interested after that big spot. Kalisto ends up hitting a super Salida del Sol off of the top rope to pin Enzo, and he is your new Cruiserweight Champion.
Now what?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Interesting.
saying.
Interesting. Well, they're gonna wrestle again in 2 weeks.
Because
Or
I'm
yeah.
like, why they just gonna take the title for Enzo at TLC?
Well, I'll give you some backstory, sir. The original creator for this match was supposed to be Enzo versus Neville in a lumberjack match. In Neville, according to all reports that are out there floating around the wrestling Twitter, is that Neville basically said, "I'm out, dog. Peace out," and he left Raw once he found
Mm,
out what the creative was for that night. So they insert Kalisto, and then they change the finish because Neville
wow,
Neville was supposed to lose to Enzo.
that's crazy.
So the follow up, Neville did not show up to 205 Live SmackDown on Tuesday, and there's rumors that he has asked for his release, and it just hasn't been granted yet. There hasn't been an official statement from WWE, but everybody's kind of speculating that that might have been the last straw for Neville in WWE. So it's a lot of speculation right now. There's nothing confirmed about him being released, but maybe it's the kind of situation that Austin Aries ran into where, he was wrestling Neville. They were having pretty good matches. It seemed like it was time for him to win the title,
And
and
they
Austin Aries didn't. And then he was like, "Okay, well that's cool. Can I go be on the main roster?" And they were like, "Nope." And then he was like, "Okay, well I'm out."
who the man, yeah. Uh, I fuck. How can I say this? I'm not mad at WWE for inserting Henzo into the 205 Live roster. What I am mad at is that they let, and if it's true, they let one of their big talents of the roster leave. Like, what the hell?
Hmm.
Like, how
Hmm.
you just let him walk out the door, you know? And then have Kalisto win the title? Like, what the hell? Like, and don't get me wrong, I like Kalisto, but he shouldn't have won the belt that night. He should not have. They should have kept it on Henzo because now it's like, all right, so what's the use now?
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
that like because Enzo, not for nothing, he was cooking. He was cooking as champ. You know, people really getting behind the heel thing and being a heel and talking trash. It's like, all right, cool. And then they go and pull this crap, and now Neville may or may not come back to WWE. I'm like, at that point, it's just like, yo, where do they go now? And now the whole roster got no, and I'm sorry, the whole roster got no other choice now to step up because like
Yep.
you can't hide behind Neville no more. Ain't no more just wrestling now. If this is how it's gonna be, ain't no more wrestling now. Ain't no more just wrestling. Like you gotta, like Cedric Allen's gets like these guys gonna have to go grab that brass ring now.
Sash, give us some comments.
I don't think it was worth it to take it from Enzo just to stick it to Neville, because that's pretty much how it came across to me. Because he's mad
Yeah,
that he's going to lose again, apparently. And then what do? Take the belt for Enzo and give it to Kalisto? I mean, if I'm already mad at you, that just made it worse.
yeah,
And if any part of me wanted to come back, it's not going to happen now.
yeah. Because they could have kept the belt on Enzo and be like, all right, Neville, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna win it back at TLC. You two guys gonna have a match and you win it back at TLC. Not embarrass him on Monday Night Raw by losing
Hmm.
and it's like, oh, why y'all gonna like? And not for nothing, Khalees don't put asses in seats. I'm sorry, we gonna call it like it is. Kalisto, he can wrestle, but he can't talk,
Yep.
and that's where Enzo. And I thought the Enzo Neville feud, that for how short it was great. It was like, yo, you got two guys who can talk, and of course Neville's gonna carry him in the match. But it's like, why WWE playing these games?
Yeah. And now what you going to do at 205?
gonna be boring. Nobody's gonna watch it.
I mean, okay, who's watching it now? But
Yeah.
still, any chance you had,
Nah, that's gone.
Yeah, it's
yep.
gonna. Yeah, they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to do some. They're gonna have to do some saving face, and maybe they can get him to come back. Maybe they can get, Mark Henry. Him, Neville and Mark Henry are really tight, so maybe they can get Mark Henry to kind of smooth some things over and get him back in the fold. But right now, Neville's situation is very much up in the air. So before we go into SmackDown, we're gonna let everybody know that this podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Audible.com is offering a free audio download and a free 30-day trial. All you have to do is go to their site at www.audible.com/Wrasslecast. And there you can choose from over 150,000 titles for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3. You can go get Jim Ross's latest book about his time in professional wrestling. You can also get Chris Jericho's brand new book. It's kind of like a, motivational, get your, life goals accomplished type book. You can get the wrestlers like Seagulls, James J. Dillon autobiography, which is one of the best wrestling autobiographies there is out there. So again, Audible.com is offering a free trial. Again, the URL is www.audibletrial.com/Wrasslecast to get your free download and your free 30-day trial. I'm going to run through SmackDown, NXT, Lucha Underground kind of real fast here. Usos come out, quick opening promo. They basically, call out the New Day, similar to Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian. They just wanted to say, hey man, we respect y'all. We put it down. We had some classic matches. We the two best tag teams in this division. Every time we go at it, it's Clash of the Titans epic. It's like Ali and Frazier, and basically we wanted y'all to come out here so we could say that the rest of them tag teams in the back they all suck. We legendary, and we just wanted to let y'all know that what I'm saying, we respect y'all for going toe to toe with us in Hell in a Cell, and the only people who the Usos said could relate to them, because if y'all watch Talking Smack, um, I think it was Jay was all broke up. His elbow was all messed up.
Mhm.
The other one, Jimmy, his eye was starting to swell.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were pretty banged up. So they were just basically saying that their families and wives and kids and everybody was all concerned, and they were telling them that they were all right, but they really weren't. And they said the only people who actually knew what they were feeling was a New Day, and so they just wanted to give big ups to them. And before, of course, they could do the mutual respect handshake, all the tag teams start rolling out. First, we get the Hype Bros. Mojo says it's always about the same two teams. Then Jay tells Mojo he needs to go back to the sidelines, just like his NFL career.
Yeah.
That brings out Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. They come out. They tell the Hype Bros to get to the back of the line because they just beat them at the Hell in a Cell pre-show. Then the Usos call Chad Gable smart for getting Shelton Benjamin as his partner, and then they tell the Hype Bros to get to the back of the line. So the Fashion Police arrive, and right before they could say anything on the mic, the Ascension comes out. The Ascension says that they are tired of being stuck in the wasteland. Enzo cuts the Usos cut them off and said they're all getting locked up in the New Day in the Usos penitentiary. They start running down each tag team, and then the New Day stops the Usos when they get to the Fashion Police, and is like, the Fashion Police are cool, and then the Usos agree. The Usos challenge all the tag teams to get in and take a shot, and then of course Daniel Bryan comes out. Daniel Bryan says tonight is not a good night for this. He thanks the Usos and New Day for their performance at Hell in a Cell, but tells them to leave the ring. Then Bryan makes a match between all the other tag teams to determine the new number one contender. So we have the Fashion Police, Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, the Hype Bros, and the Ascension in a number one contenders match. Gable and Shelton Benjamin are looking for the Doomsday device, but Fandango tosses Chad Gable to the floor. Fandango goes for the last dance leg drop, but he misses. Chad Gable then hits the $1 million moonsault. Then him and Shelton Benjamin hit their version of the Doomsday Device, and Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin will be challenging the Usos for the tag team titles. That's going to be a really good feud, really good athleticism because I mean Usos and American Alpha had really good matches. So they're very familiar with Chad Gable and what he can do.
Mhm.
Shelton Benjamin looks fantastic. He still looks like the guy that had maybe the best match ever on Monday Night Raw with Shawn Michaels, or at least the match that had the best finish ever anyway. So I'm really intrigued by what they got going on, and I think it may not be to the level of the New Day, but I think they will have some very standout matches in the
Yeah,
next few months to come.
yeah, yeah. That's gonna be a solid program. We might just have the world's greatest tag team version 2.0 in this case, and this will be good for Chad Gable to up his promo skills with the Usos because they're gonna test him. They, this
Oh
is
yeah.
this is this
Oh
is
yeah.
now put up or shut up time after because the New Day they set the bar. The New Day and the Usos set the
Mhm.
bar. So now it's gonna be on Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin to bring it out, bring out their best. Um, and I think this will be good for the SmackDown division. This will be good.
Shaz.
I agree. I agree because we need another strong tag team. So hopefully this will sync up and work out, and we can build that division. Because I'm
All
tired
right.
of a season two outside of Fashion Police.
Goes to the back. Natalia's in the back. She's got her title. She's hugging it. She's caressing it. She's in love with the title. And that's when Lana and Tamina arrive. Lana says that the belt would look better on Tamina. Then Carmella saunters in with her Money in the Bank briefcase and just kind of reminds everybody that she's lurking. Natalya then starts to run down Charlotte, and then all of a sudden, here comes Charlotte. She ain't asking no questions. She just putting them hands on Natalya. Um, So they, basically Natalia, before the attack started, she's talking to Charlotte and says that she asked if she broke Rick's pathetic heart again, and that
Mm.
basically made Charlotte snap. Charlotte put them fifth ward bees on her. And then all of a sudden, it looks like it's going to be a big brawl because, Tamina and Carmella kind of start trying to, I guess, pull Charlotte off of Natty. And then, of course, that brings Becky, and we just got a glimpse of Naomi running in to kind of even up the sides. Thought we were maybe going to get a six-woman match, but that didn't materialize. But it was good to see just that flash of Naomi. I've been missing the
Mhm.
glow since she's lost the title. She's kind of been de-emphasized on TV, so it was at least
Yeah.
good to see that she was there. That they at least gave her a little bit of screen time, but yeah, so that's that. Renee interviews Baron Corbin about his rematch with AJ Styles tonight. He makes fun of AJ Styles, Ty Dillinger, and all the keyboard warriors. And he says he plans to make AJ squander his opportunity tonight, just like he did with the Money in the Bank briefcase. We get Carmella versus Becky Lynch. Fashion cast. Carmella is back in the little one piece. Um, Becky Lynch locks in the disarmor. Becky Lynch gets the win in like 3 minutes. Just Becky Lynch getting a win. She hasn't really been wrestling on TV that much, so give her a little bone. Then we get to what we all came for: Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Kevin comes out. He says a Hell in a Cell. He did what he said he was going to do, and he sent Shane McMahon to hell. Now Shane is gone, and he's never coming back. He tells the fans to count their blessings because the fans almost lost him Sunday night as well. He said on Sunday, after he crashed through the table, that he was blinded by the light and he felt his soul separating from his body. He said he was at the pearly gates and he said he was aggravated because he had to stand in line and he hates waiting in lines. But then he said St. Peter saw him and called him forward to the front. And he said that heaven would love to have Kevin Owens, but earth needs him more. So it was then that he was gifted with his own guardian angel and sent back to us. And now he's here. He's here in Kevin's heaven, or as he likes to call it, the Kevin Owens Show. He then introduces his best friend and guardian angel, Sami Zayn. Then Owens, before Sami Zayn starts to talk, says that he had no idea he would come out to help Kevin at Hell in a Cell. Owens wants Sami to explain to the crowd why he took the actions that he did, but first he wanted to thank him from the bottom of his heart. Sami said that Owens powerbombing him on the apron opened his eyes. So he's always tried to please people and the fans, tried to do the right thing, but it only brought him to mediocrity. While Kevin, doing all the dastardly things he has done, got him the IC Championship, got him the Universal Championship, and the US Championship. Sami said he's always had a clear conscience, and he figured that, he would get those same opportunities in maybe 4 or 5 years. He says that Shane told him everything he wanted to hear about coming over to SmackDown, and that's the reason why he came. But he says that was the last time they talked. And he said, he's sure Shane's busy with all his other endeavors and, surviving helicopter crashes and everything. But he said the real thing that opened up his eyes was last week when he tried to warn Shane about Kevin Owens and Shane blew him off. He said then he realized that Shane never cared about about Sami Zayn, and he never was going to give him that great opportunity that he promised. So Sami said he wanted to see Shane win a Hell in a Cell. But when Shane knocked Owens from the cell and didn't take the pin when he had the match clearly won and climbed up to the top of the cell, that he was trying to end Kevin Owens' career and he could not sit back and let his brother have his career ended like that. He said no matter what they've been in the past, best friends, rivals, that it's still his brother. And he said that's the reason why he came out there, saved Kevin, because it was the right thing to do. Sami said he thought he despised Kevin Owens, but he really despised that Kevin was right. Sami thanks Kevin, and then they have a big embrace in the middle of the ring. This was a tearjerker, man. I know people cry when they watch This Is Us. This was the wrestling version of This Is Us.
Yeah, and I'm glad them two are back together again because it's been too long. It's been a while, and we need it. And almost shed tears, shed thug tears. You know.
I
Yeah, I
really
didn't
like
care.
that. I like that his whole reason was like, man, I'm tired of fucking losing. I'm tired of being looked over. I'm tired of getting passed over. I'm tired of, what I'm saying, the people that aren't as good as wrestlers or me or people that I know I'm just as good as always coming out ahead of me. And I came over here because they weren't treating me right on Raw. Then I come over here and y'all not treat me right here either. So he just felt it was time for a change. So I like his explanation.
Yeah, yeah, that was I, like I can't disagree with Sammy. And honestly, I still I don't see this as him being a heel. I just it's just like, yo, enough's enough already. So
Yeah.
I mean, I was okay with it until he took the "this is my brother" part and he tried to end Kevin Owens' career. I'm like, dude, he's tried to end your career. I don't care about that. But the approach of being mad at Shane and not getting the opportunity, totally bought into that. That made sense. But that "this is my brother" and I have to have his back part and whatever.
All right. So we get the creative has nothing for you at the moment tag team of Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rusev and Aiden English. Nakamura runs wild with his kicks and strikes. Then he landed repeated kicks to Aiden English's chest. He follows that with the corner knee strikes and he sets up for the Kinshasa. Rusev makes the save, but Randy Orton catches Rusev with the RKO. And then Shinsuke hits the Kinshasa on Aiden English, gets the pin, and Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura are victorious. that was just a match to fill time. They
Pretty much.
outside of Rusev and Randy Orton, there's really no real beef between Nakamura and Aiden English, so they were just kind
Mm-mm.
of there.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
tired. I'm tired of this. They need to do something with Shinsuke. Like, stop wasting our time with this shit.
Mhm. Yeah, he shouldn't even
do we
been in that match.
Nah.
we have AJ Styles cuts a promo on Corbin, saying that Corbin didn't pin him at Hell in a Cell, and he makes mistakes, and he will capitalize on those mistakes to win back the U.S. title. And then we get an interesting promo from the returning Luke Harper and Eric Roman. They have these great big war hammers. They say the virtuous will fall and the wicked will rise, as they are the Bludgeon Brothers. If you are familiar with ROH or New Japan, you will be familiar with War Machine. Huge guys over 300 pounds or a tag team. Yeah, this looks like Dollar Store version of War Machine to me.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, they gotta impress me because I ain't with the shits right now.
Then we have our glorious a moment of the night as Bobby Roode comes down. He says his first pay-per-view match was glorious. That was until Dolph jumped him from behind after the match was over. So he calls out Dolph for a fight. Ziggler comes out. Of course, he does the same entrance that he did at the pay-per-view, which was the beginning of his old entrance and then a record scratch and then nothing.
Mhm.
Um, basically Dolph said that Rude looked like $1 million, but he says that he exposed Rude at Hell in a Cell. He dominated him and was the better man and the better wrestler. Then Dolph shows the footage of Bobby Roode using the tights to get the win at Hell in a Cell. Ziggler says that Rude is a cheater. Rude says that he was just smarter than Ziggler and did what he needed to do to win. So Dolph demands a rematch. Bobby Roode agrees to the rematch and says it will go the same way as the first match. Bobby Roode calls for them to have the match right now, but Dolph refuses, and Dolph says that he will determine when the rematch is. I actually made that sound really good and really coherent and really smooth. The actual promo was nothing
Mm.
like that.
Mm-mm-mm.
The first part was, but then the second part was really herky jerky. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if Bobby Roode forgot what he was supposed to say or what, but yeah, they kind of struggled there at the end of this
Yeah,
promo.
this is just Dolph Ziggler tainting NXT talent. I don't like. God, man, I don't know what's gonna happen with this feud, but yeah, like This is Ziggler's second NXT talent that he's not having a good feud with, just like we talked about. I don't know if it's him.
Mhm.
I don't know if maybe the WWE style of doing things but is just overwhelming these guys. I don't know. But with Dolph Ziggler, he's not. They're not. He's the NXT talent is not. They're not getting. They're not getting the hot feuds to start their main roster careers going. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Pretty much.
Shaz, yeah, that's your comment.
Yeah, pretty much. They don't know to do with Dolph, so how? What is he gonna do with anybody else? I mean, okay.
So now it's time for our main event as the United States champion. Baron Corbin makes his first title defense in a rematch versus AJ Styles. AJ Styles locks in the calf crusher, but Corbin escapes. Corbin then starts laying in some strikes, but Styles hits the Pele kick and Corbin rolls to the floor. Styles goes to the apron, but Corbin tosses him to the body slams him off the apron onto the floor. To get back in the ring, Corbin hits the end of days and he pins AJ Styles clean in the middle. After the match, Corbin gets interviewed and says to eat it, the title is his, and he will buy a boat and float on the river of tears produced by the internet wrestling community. So, good deal for Baron. The promo work was good on the mic at the end. That last line was really good. like I said, if you guys follow him on Twitter, he's got a lot of personality, a lot of charisma. He's really quick with his comebacks and stuff. So maybe if he can start bringing some of that to TV on a more regular basis, now that he's a champ, and we'll have these, these higher profile feuds and interview times where he'll have to carry the program by talking, that we'll get a lot more of his true personality to come out, and people can start getting behind him a little bit, because I always thought Corbin had the physical talents when he was in NXT. He just needed to work on, you know, his charisma a little bit and his promos. And I think he's done good on the promos because he got a lot of chances on Talking Smack to kind of, get comfortable. But he's definitely improved with his charisma, and his matches are getting a lot better too. So
Yeah.
I'm hopeful for
Well,
Baron Corbin.
yeah, we SmackDown could definitely use a more charismatic Corbin, and he's got it. Burns got the, like you said, like, because I look at his Twitter, I'm like, holy shit, can we get this guy on TV? To hell with whatever they're writing. Like, just let him go off. Just let him talk his shit on TV. But yeah, he's gonna be good as long as he brings his mic skills up. He's gonna be. I think he's gonna be one of those guys on SmackDown we're gonna be talking about. You know, um, yeah, yeah. He just gotta like just keep bringing that cockiness out.
Shaz, I have
Yeah.
another fashion cast discussion for you. What the hell was Renee Young wearing? She looked real Canadian. She had on like a velour freaking blouse and a leather skirt. What the hell?
It's getting ready to be winter. He's preparing early.
Okay,
Velvet with leather. It works.
okay. I don't know if it was velvet. I don't know if it was velour, but to me, it didn't go with no leather. It looks like it was another piece to it that she just didn't have on that day. Like she couldn't find it when she packed her luggage, and was like, "Oh, well, this will have to do."
Maybe she wasted something on her shirt and she just had to get what she could get.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it just looked weird to me seeing her out there with that combination on. But anyway, that was SmackDown from this Tuesday. 205 Live. Renee again brings out Kalisto. Kalisto says there's finally a Luchador Cruiserweight champ. It was his dream come true. Promises to bring honor and respect to the title, unlike Enzo. Of course, that brings Enzo out. He's got a buddy with him, Arya Davari. Enzo does his usual thing, starts running down, Kalisto, says it ain't a party without him. He says Kalisto may be the champion, but it's still the Zoe show. Enzo says that he main evented Raw 3 weeks in a row, and that he's the godfather of the division. He runs down all the cruiserweights until Mustafa Ali got involved. Enzo says Kalisto had to lie, steal, and cheat to win. Kalisto said a win is a win, just like Enzo says. He says, I won and you lost, and Enzo has to agree and says, yeah, he's right. But he says that Kalisto is ugly under his mask, and he says that he was the one, Enzo said that he was the one who made the cruiserweight title sexy. Enzo says he gets mucho dinero, and the only green Kalisto has is guacamole.
Mm.
Enzo then says that Kalisto should just dip because at TLC he's taking the title back. Davari then comes down to the ring, attacks Kalisto. Enzo joins in for the beatdown, and then Mustafa Ali arrives and makes the save and takes out Davari, and Enzo runs away. So set up the beginning of the night that will lead to a tag team main event. We get Rich Swann versus TJP in a 2 out of 3 falls match. TJP locks in a knee bar, but Rich Homie Swann, please say the homie, bridges out into a pin and wins the first fall. Then we start our second fall. Rich Swann hits a Michinoku driver, and then he hits a running 450 for a 2 count. Swann then heads up top, and he hits the Phoenix Splash, and Rich Swann defeats TJP 2 straight falls to get the win. It's been a long time since you've seen a 2 out of 3 falls match not go 3 falls, so that was very refreshing. I'm glad Rich Homie got a chance to shine because he's been kind of been on the back burner ever since he lost the title. So it was good to see him get a showcase match, and he delivered. Enzo and Davari meet up. Enzo calls Kalisto and Mustafa Ali Mufasa and Simba. He said they're dirtbags. Drew Gulak arrives on the scene and says that he commends Enzo for sticking to his values. Gulak says he can't stand for Kalisto's chanting and poor fashion sense. Gulak may not agree with everything Enzo does, but he is like Enzo, woke. So I love Drew Gulak.
Yeah,
He is so good. So Gulak then attacks Akira Tozawa during Akira Tozawa's entrance to the ring. He breaks his own rules, no interrupting. Gulak then slams Tozawa into the LED wall and hits Tozawa in the throat with his sign, which leads, which means that there will be no chanting from Tozawa. Cedric Alexander is asked about his actions from last week. Cedric said that he showed that he can be a man with a plan and proved that, he can get his hands dirty and that he won't back down. Shout out to Tom Petty. He also says that Kendrick and Gallagher will make a new plan for him and he promises to be ready. We get our main event, Kalisto and Mustafa Ali versus Enzo and Arya Davari. Davari rolls up Kalisto for two, only gets a near fall. Kalisto then hits the Salida del Sol to pin Davari, and Kalisto and Mustafa Ali are victorious. Standouts in this was a 2 out of 3 falls match. That was actually really good, even though TJP lost 2 straight falls. Is really good. And then for me, Drew Gulak is always a standout. Every week, whatever he does, I'm here for it. So
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. TJ and Rich Swan's feud has been it's been good. The match has been fairly good. The only thing I appreciate was TJ ripping one of Rich Swan's dreads out. I was like, oh nah, you gotta get some get back for that. But yeah, man, that 2 out of 3 falls match. Whew. I'm like, where do these guys go from here now? So it'd be cool to see. But yeah, 205 Live was all right. I mean, despite Callisto being champ and whatnot, um, yeah, after that, the rest of the roster, the rest of the talent brought it last night. So I guess they fired up now that uh, Callisto's champ. So everybody's trying to jockey in position after this feud is over. So
all right. Next up, NXT. Starting off with my fave, Peyton Royce versus Liv Morgan versus Nikki Cross. Winner earns a spot in the Fatal 4-Way at Takeover Houston. Tanari Conti, who was in the Mae Young Classic, all of a sudden comes out with Cole Riley and Bobby Fish, and she gets involved in the match. She pulls Nikki Cross out of the ring when Nikki's going for a pinfall. Um, so they wrestle a little bit more. Nikki hits a spinning neckbreaker off the second turnbuckle onto Liv Morgan, and she has her pinned when Conti pulls Nikki out of the ring again. This causes Nikki to chase Conti around the ring. Conti rolls through the ring, and of course, Nikki Cross follows. Well, when she's crossing through the ring, Peyton Royce catches Nikki Cross with the spinning heel kick. Then she gives her the fisherman suplex, and Peyton, aka Peyton Royce, gets the win, and she earned a spot in the Fatal 4-Way at Houston Takeover. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy because I think Peyton Royce should be the champion.
Well, you
Shas,
have
I know you
you picked
watched
the list,
this.
huh?
I know you watched this. So, what are your thoughts? Or what were you saying? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I said I'm not surprised. You have been picking the ladies champions. You picked Alexa, you picked Sasha, so she probably will be. You've been right. But
Yeah,
yeah, it
I
was a
just
fun
think it.
match. I enjoyed it. I like Nikki Cross character,
yeah,
so she's something different.
Nikki, Nikki Cross looks like the woman's version of Dean Ambrose with wrestling in the
But
jeans and the
actually,
cut
kind
off
of
t-shirt.
scary.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, her and D must be comparing notes and shit.
I
I would like
think,
to see them a mixed match tag team. I think that would be funny.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh man, let them just go ape shit and
Yeah.
like put them in a hardcore match. See how that plays out.
I think that the way this is gonna work is, I hope this is what happens. Peyton's gonna win, the four way. She's gonna be the champion. She's gonna. I don't know if they're gonna have an elimination match or whatever they're gonna do, but whatever's gonna happen, hopefully Billy Kay helps her beat Ember as pin Ember. So now you get all these months of Billy Kay helping Peyton keep the belt, all the while they keep doing whatever they got to do to dodge Ember Moon, and then
Hmm.
eventually Ember Moon gets the title shot and she wins it.
That would be, yeah. No, that's actually a solid story. Stretch it all the way to.
WrestleMania weekend.
That's what I'm thinking. Because
Hmm
that WrestleMania weekend is gonna be crazy. You're gonna have NXT.
Hmm.
You're gonna have, I think New Japan's trying to come back to New Orleans. That's gonna be a giant weekend for wrestling. So maybe, and that would, for Ember Moon to win the title the night before WrestleMania, but have that story where fans are emotionally invested. I
Hmm.
that would be ideal. Don't pull the trigger. Keep that story going. I know they're gonna try to do something big for the Royal Rumble weekend, but yeah, hold out on Ember Moon being champion until WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, yeah. I think that would just be the best story, the best matches, and then of course it would give Peyton some credibility and kind of establish her as a she can get three or four defenses in, and with a little help from her friend, just hang on. So it's built in right there for them. Hopefully, they'll go that route.
Yeah,
Then we got a really fun match: Leo Rush versus the Velveteen Dream. It was supposed to be Leo Rush versus Aleister Black last week, but Velveteen Dream came down and attacked them, and so now they're trying to settle their issue. Leo Rush, man, just comes in here and he is
Hmm.
whooping Velveteen Dream's ass. He hit him with about 8 moves, and I swear in
In
about
two
three and a
seconds.
half seconds.
Yep.
But eventually the Velveteen Dream hits, one big clothesline, kind of stops his momentum. Then he hits the Death Valley Bomb. Then he's standing on the second rope, the Velveteen Dream is. Then he hops up to the top rope. Then he comes off with the Purple Rainmaker elbow drop, and he gets the win. After the match, the Velveteen Dream sits down Indian style like Aleister Black, and he's telling Aleister Black to say his name, say my name. He's kind of doing like the Muhammad Ali
Hmm.
thing where he jumped in
yeah.
the Leo Rush and he was like, Velveteen Dream, say it, Velveteen Dream, say it. So
Oh
yeah,
man,
yeah, man. Patrick Clark he's a bona fide superstar in the making. Can't not
yeah,
miss.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad glad he finally found a character to really flourish with. Because I'm enjoying Velveteen Dream as long as Triple H keeps grooming him and like
Hmm.
keeps guiding Velveteen Dream. I guarantee you, by not this WrestleMania, but by the following WrestleMania, I think Velveteen Dream is going to be the next NXT champion.
Yeah, definitely could be.
Or I could see him like as he develops by 2019, he could be in the NXT title picture.
Hmm We get the scariest man on NXT, Lars Sullivan versus Danny Burch. Lars hits the side spine buster. Lars Sullivan gets the win. Just another, win for him, building Lars Sullivan up. He is a monster. He's, very credible. He's starting to. I think he's got something. He's pretty good talker. Um, so we'll kind of see, what the future holds for Lars Sullivan. But he's just running through people, getting wins on NXT TV, and
Hmm.
boosting himself up. So we'll see where that goes. Next up, they do the swag like nobody can. It's the Street Profits.
Your favorite.
Yes,
with
sir.
the red cup and everything.
Well, they've begun to market a cup for them, so it's black now. But yeah, they missed the
Oh,
boat on that. But they're wrestling Daniel Smith and Marco Espada. Angelo Dawkins hits the Cyclone Splash in the corner, and then he hits the high low or the pop up powerbomb. Then my man Montez Ford comes off the top of the frog splash, and the Street Profits get the win. If you, every time we talk about Street Profits, of course, I always talk about Montez Ford. And if you guys watched the episode, you saw that great walk down the entrance ramp he had where he was dancing.
Hmm.
It's my new favorite gif. Thank you, thank you for the people who I asked and it was provided for. I appreciate y'all. So yeah, just the street man. These dudes are so over. It's so fun. It's so lit. It's nothing but energy, and Montez Ford is definitely a big part of it. Um, he he walks out of the ring after the match and walks over to where Kayla and Mike Rome and one of the tech guys are sitting, and he's trying to get them to do the little shoulder shimmy or whatever.
Yeah,
They go out in the crowd. They got the crowd all hype. Everybody's dancing and acting up, man. It's just a party when the Street Profits come out. And man, I love these guys. I love these guys so much. Especially Montez Ford. Dawkins finally got him somebody with enough charisma to actually make him relevant. So it's good for him. Tide rises all ships. But when Montez Ford makes his turn and goes solo, watch out.
yeah. I just hope that by the time that happens, he is not working with Dolph Ziggler. Let's just we're gonna put that out there. Anytime any of these NXT guys come up from now on, just stay clear of Dolph Ziggler and or protest to Triple H that we don't want to work with Dolph Ziggler because yeah, yeah,
Say
he's
no to the Dolph, huh? Just say no.
yeah,
The Street Profits give me the same vibe that Enzo and Cass had in NXT, where,
yep,
what I'm saying, when they
Yeah.
come out,
Hmm.
everybody is just hyped. They ready to see them. They ready to see the match. They ready to be involved with whatever they're doing. So, it's just so much energy when they come out, and I can't wait for them to try to go for some titles and get into a real program, say get a little bit longer matches, and we can kind of see what they can do, get some promo time, stuff like that.
yeah,
So then we get our main event. We have Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano versus Cien Almas in a rematch from Takeover. This was a very good match. Cien Almas escapes the Gargano escape by giving Gargano a drop toe hold into the bottom turnbuckle. Then Almas hits two sets of running knees to the back of the head of Gargano, where he's laying face first in the turnbuckle. That looked really nasty. Then seeing Almas gets the win with the hammerlock DDT, and he spiked Gargano on his head. Johnny Gargano was selling, and if he didn't have a concussion, he did a damn good job of making his eyes look glazed over because he was rocked from the knees to the back of the head to the hammerlock DDT. Yeah, Johnny Gargano was on Dream Street, and Selena Vega, she tried to do the same thing that she pulled at Takeover, where she had the DIY shirt on underneath her jacket. She pulled it open and tried to distract Gargano, but he was like, "Nah, not this time." And so showed that he learned from the last time or whatever. Seeing Almas, man, he's hitting his stride. It was kind of touch and go there for most of his time at NXT, but the last few months, ever since Selena Vega's come on board, he's definitely been on an upswing. So good for him, good for them, and good match just all around, man. This was a fun match. Chaz, I know you saw this. Did you see the main event? Did you get that far?
Yeah, I did. And I like the combination of Vega and Cien. I like the fact that she's kind of the lead and she's the one about the mental game. Usually you don't get that when a woman is involved. So I like that. It was a good
Mm-hmm.
in ring match. So yeah, I like their combination.
Mm-hmm.
But I will
Yeah. So
say with this Johnny Wrestling, please, please, just give him something more than being the guy that loves wrestling since he was 8. Because if they call him up, it might fall flat. Because it falls flat for just about everybody else too.
hopefully they don't call Johnny Gargano up until after Ciampa comes back and we get 2 or 3 matches between them two.
yeah,
Got to
yeah,
have it.
yeah. And I think the proper venue to have that match is WrestleMania weekend. Either that or the Rumble.
Right, right. Yeah, when Tommaso Ciampa does come back, and if they can, get that thing up and running, man, that's going to be the hottest program still in NXT because the people were so just it was such a shocking turn, you know, and it's just unfortunate that Tommaso Ciampa got hurt during that match, but he's a tough SOB, man. He finished that match out with and everything that happened post match with a bad knee, so
Yeah.
shout out to him. Next up, final review Lucha Underground, Night 3 of Ultima Lucha Trace. Start out with the ladies as we have Taya in honor of my SmackDown Matters correspondent. What is a sexy star? Versus each other in the last Luchador standing match. Uh, they go hard. Ty gets busted open. They're chopping the hell out of each other. Their chests are all red. They're, using all kinds of brass knucks and tables and glass bottles, and it's just a war. Taya and Sexy Star, they get up on one of the camera perches, and Taya had done the Kevin Owens stacking tables, so she had one table stacked on top of the other one, and they both go crashing through the tables. Both women are down. Sexy Star manages to get up at the count of 9, and she wins the last woman standing match. Like I said, really, hardcore, hard hitting match. Like I said, Taya got color. It's one refreshing thing about Lucha Underground. They are not afraid to let anybody get color. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. So, it's kind of shocking to the system the first time you see a woman in a wrestling match actually bleeding. But you watch Lucha Underground enough, you kind of get used to it. It's just, these matches are just pure violence. And, this one did not fail. So we get the Mac, AR Fox, and Killshot versus the Reptile Tribe for the Reptile Tribe's trios titles. AR Fox, big up to him, man, because he's out here 2 weeks after they had that brutal match where he got dropped on that razor wire, the board full of razor wire, and his lost skin and had bone exposed. Him and Killshot both were all wrapped up, taped up. AR Fox was actually wearing a T-shirt because his back is still all hamburger meat from landing on that barbed wire. There's a certain part though where his shirt gets ripped off, and of course, he starts taking bumps, and everything's painful because every time he lands on his back, he's got these wounds back there. But AR Fox hits Pindar with the top rope finish fly. The Mac then gives Pindar a stunner, and Killshot finishes off Pindar with the double foot stomp from the top. Mac makes the pin, and the Mac, AR Fox, and Killshot are your new trios champion. Not quite the New Day because AR Fox and Killshot really don't get along, and the Mac kind of got these guys forced on him by Cueto when he won the Battle Royal last week. But yeah, it's good to see some Black excellence with some titles over in Lucha Underground. So they are your new trios champions. Then we get our main event: Son of Havoc versus Pentagon Dark, Gift of the Gods title ladder match. Um, if you guys are familiar with Pentagon Jr., then you know that violence is not that far around the corner. This match had a whole bunch of that, a whole bunch of ladders, whole bunch of tables. Pentagon Jr. gives Son of Havoc. He does the 4 chairs together. Sets them out 2 on each side facing each other, and he gives Son of Havoc the package power driver through those 4 tables. That's pretty nasty. But no, that wasn't good enough to win though. He sets up a ladder bridge, and he choke slams Son of Havoc through a table from the ladder bridge that he set up. Then Pentagon Jr. climbs the ladder to claim the title and get the win. And now, with as long as he gives Dario Cueto at least a week's notice, he can redeem the Gift of the Gods title for a Lucha Underground title match. As the show goes off, we get the dark version of Vampiro giving Prince Puma a pep talk before his title match against Johnny Mundo next week in the finale, 2-hour finale of Ultima Lucha Tres. So this was fun. Like I said, lots of violence in the first match and the last match. Pentagon Dark got his first ever title in Lucha Underground, so that was a monumental occasion. And next week is the big finale where you're gonna have Prince Puma versus Johnny Mundo. That's probably gonna have like an hour time limit. You're gonna have Cage, Jeremiah Crane, and Mil Murtis in a three-way for the
Shit.
gauntlet. And you're gonna have Azteca Jr. versus Matanza Cueto in a steel cage. So those are going to be your matches next week for Lucha Underground.
Shit.
Before we go into the shout outs, I just want to turn everybody's attention to the what we are watching hashtag. Underneath that hashtag, I had the best match I saw this week, which came from New Japan. It was Will Ospreay versus Kushida for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. Coming into this match, Will Ospreay, no matter how good he is, no matter how hard he tried, no matter which tactics he used, could not seem to defeat Kushida. He is 0-4 heading into this match against Kushida. He's lost at the best of the Super Juniors finals. He's lost overseas and Progress and all these different promotions. He's never been able to figure out Kushida. So they have a match for the title, and it was fantastic. So I would suggest everybody go over, watch that match. It's about 21 minutes. Entrances bell to bell, and it's action packed from the get go. So,
Nice.
uh, yeah. So do yourself a favor, watch that match, especially if you're not really big into New Japan and kind of want to get a flavor for kind of how they do things and how their presentation is different than WWE. Yeah, I
Very
think that'd
different.
be a great match to kind of cut your teeth on because it's a cruiserweight match, so there'll be the high flying and the cool moves and
Yeah.
stuff, and nonstop action. So
Yeah. And New Japan's been on a hot roll this whole year. We're not even done with it yet, so that's a that's a good match to get into for the weekend actually.
yeah, yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, so just check out the what we were watching hashtag, man, and I'll try to put up the best matches that I get a chance to watch underneath the hashtag each and every week. So that's that. So at this point, we'll open it up to Shaz for her shout outs and thank yous.
Okay, just gonna shout out the whole Wrasslecast family because you guys are the only thing keeping me in this. So I appreciate the takes, I appreciate the laughs, I appreciate all the petty, and thanks.
All right. And shout outs and thank yous.
yeah. Shout out to The Rock for his feud with
Get a petty.
Tyrese. Yo, we gotta shout that man out. I don't know if y'all saw the video that Tyrese let go, but yeah, between that and the small video The Rock put out talking about big dogs eat and crying puppies stay on the porch. So
Oh, you didn't see you didn't see the new one, huh? Where he was talking about he listened to the Black Rose album and it was
yeah,
shit and it was
yeah,
shit.
it was dog
Yeah.
shit. They should have called it the instead of Black Rose, Black Dog shit.
Yeah,
I guess.
I'm like,
channeling those old WWE promo days.
I don't think Tyrese want that smoke. He think The Rock is just some actor. I'm like, nah, man,
Mm-mm.
nah. The Rock has dragged people through the mud. You better go talk to Triple H or Stone Cold. That's not what you want.
John Cena.
Yo, go talk to that man. He'll be in the
Exactly.
Bumblebee film. You better go talk to him.
Yeah, so that has been pretty good comedy ever since the whole beef is. If you guys aren't familiar, Tyrese, of course, is in Fast and Furious with The Rock, and The Rock, because of The Rock's scheduling, he and Jason Statham are actually going to have kind of like their own spinoff from Fast and the Furious that they're making before the next Fast and the Furious, and apparently Tyrese's money is starting to run low, and he like, yo, man, we can't do this movie because the Rock got all this other stuff going on. And So the Rock has basically been handling him ever since. Even reached out to Tank, talking about, "Hey man, I think you
Oh
could,
Lord,
you,
Pat.
you, you, we need to maybe find you a spot in this movie."
I'm like
So yeah,
Tyrese, man, don't why you blocking your blessings for? Let this man go and do this spin-off film, man. And
right.
that says something about Tyrese. Maybe his music career ain't really going the way it should, and maybe he needs this check.
Oh, he definitely needs this check because he wouldn't be crying so much about the Rock's business. He all up in the Rock pocket, you know.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you know what's funny? Vin Diesel endorsed this Hobbs spinoff, so I don't know where this is coming from.
Well, see, Vin Diesel is a smart man. He understands that, I think Tyrese has this inflated perception of himself. Like him and Vin Diesel is the reason why Fast and the
Hmm.
Furious, the last like two or three, have kind of been the huge successes. But that joint was dead until Rock came on.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah, like because if the Rock hadn't showed up after if the Rock hadn't showed up after Paul Walker died, this we wouldn't even be talking about spinoffs
Mm-mm.
and the
And a
2020
ninth
release
one,
date.
and a ninth one for that matter.
Yeah, yeah, we wouldn't be
Don't they have
talking
one
about
more
that.
after that? Don't aren't they doing 10?
I think they're doing 10.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a lot.
yeah, so if I'm Tyrese, man, I'm like, don't don't fuck this up because he could talk himself out of Fast Nine
Hmm.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
because I
He should have been
because you
asking
know
for a guest spot. That's what he should have done.
yeah, yeah, because I like
Some
why
hold a paper clip or something. I don't know.
yeah if
You
he
know,
really
rub baby oil on your arm. I don't know. Let me come do something.
yeah because him calling out the Rock first of all, I'm like he think the Rock is just some actor. This man has spent
Hmm.
his career dragging people
Hmm.
from like I don't know what's going on in Tyrese's head, but this is not the feud he wants. This is not it. Like this is one of those things Tyrese just got to shut up on and just like go on tour or something and figure this out.
He on
Yeah,
tour
because
and still talking.
Oh my god, he's oh my goodness.
yeah, because the Rock hasn't had a chance to sun nobody in a long time, and you
Hmm.
know
Yeah,
what I'm saying. And his skills have not rested at all.
no,
Mm-mm.
no, no. I
So
like Hollywood. These actors seem to think that these wrestlers can't like I. And I was talking with this with somebody today. I'm like, yo, pro wrestling is the one occupation where there's just shit talkers all around the room. It's like it's like they all on a school bus and they just cutting ass on a nerd.
Hmm.
So I don't understand Tyrese. I'm like you don't want to do this with the Rock. You do not want this. He's gonna treat you like Melvin, gonna choke you from behind. He's like, yeah, call for your mama. Yeah, you don't want this with the Rock, especially if they see each other on set.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
I'm putting all my money on the Rock on this one.
And they got enough tension on set, so no.
Yeah, like nah, Tyrese, you might want to chill out before they just erase your whole role and be like, yo, you died.
right,
They'd be like,
right.
we're gonna bring Han back, but we're gonna kill you instead.
All right. Now, for my shout outs, I'd like to just thank everybody who joined us in a live tweet of Hell in the Cell. Cell Therapy Matters. It was a good time as always. Thanks for all the participation, all the gifts, all the, um, commentary with color, as I said before. Um, I was the winner of Who You Got. So, one more for the good guy. Um, I don't know what the totals were. Dee Dee, unfortunately, she couldn't make it to this episode. She has all the totals and how many matches I got right, but I got more right than everybody else, so that made me the winner. Shout out to everybody who joins us for Rawcast and SmackDown Matters. Shout out to all the people who every week we get about 3 or 4 new people who discover SmackDown Matters. For some reason, that is a hashtag that just people come across and like, what the hell is this? And once they figure out it's about wrestling, a lot of people stick around and hang out with us. So big ups to all the new people who joined the SmackDown Matters Live tweet every week. Shout out to the whole Glow. We love y'all, all of y'all. So awesome. Y'all make it fun and give us a good female perspective on the, ins and outs of professional wrestling and fashion cast and y'all's own personal creep cast. So nothing but love to y'all and everybody here on CSPN that is putting in work and creating content. And you guys support our sponsors, support all our other podcast hosts, whether you like sports or Ratchet TV or politics or Gearhead, cars, um, general conversation. We've got something for everybody here on CSPN. So please just keep supporting us, keep supporting our sponsors, keep downloading, subscribing, rate and review. If you're on iTunes, please give us 5 stars. Give us a short little review so we can, keep increasing our listenership and move up the ranks in the iTunes rankings, and just get more eyes on us through the 5 star reviews. Um, and that's about it. Next week we will be episode 156, which was the 3 year anniversary of the Wrasslecast. So it's going to be a party, y'all. So hopefully the wrestling is good, and we'll try to do something a little bit special for that episode. So for my guest host tonight, Shaz, tell them where they can find you again on Twitter.
1 star 23. That's 2 R's in the star.
All right. And for my man Anthony, tell them where they can find you on Twitter.
Y'all can find me at Brooklyn Sun on Twitter. I'm usually tweeting Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and pay-per-views. So
All right. And for myself, Don Delarente, who you can find on Twitter at Don Delarente, this has been the Wrestlecast, episode 155. Please stay tuned for the parting promo.